Hi kids, welcome back to Kate Productions. Today we're going to be reading a story called The Mystery in Venice by Geronimo Stilton. So let's get started. I'm dragging from jet lag. It was a hot summer day and I was exhausted. I had just returned from a trip to the Restful Tales Resort in the Swiss Alps and I was dragging from jet lag. So much for feeling restful. I could barely keep my eyes open. I'm exhausted. Don't get me wrong. I love visiting Switzerland. I mean, who wouldn't love the place where they invented Swiss cheese? But flying back and forth between time zones had left me with a terrible case of jet lag. Do you know what jet lag is? It's something that happens to rodents when they travel by plane and cross from one time zone into another. Your body clock feels like it's one time, but the local clock says it's another. It makes your insides feel like curdled cheese. Time zones. The Earth is divided into 24 sections called time zones. Every section corresponds to an hour. When you travel across continents, your watch must be adjusted an hour for every section you cross. If you go east, the hour is added, and if you go west, the hour is subtracted. So if it is 8 p.m. in London, it is 3 p.m. in New York. First, your head gets heavy, then your eyes begin to close. Then your stomach gets upset, and then your tail droops. Plus, the worst part is that at night, your body thinks it's still morning, so you can't fall asleep. Cheese niblets. I hate jet lag. This is one of the many reasons that I have never loved to travel. In fact, I guess you could say my most two favorite places in the world are my cozy mouse hole and my office at the Rodents Gazette. Oh, how rude! I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton, and I am the publisher of the Rodents Gazette, the most famous newspaper on Mouse Island. Anyway, what was I saying? Ah, yes, I was telling you how much I was dragging from jet lag. But luckily, I had a plan. I was going to put my anti-jet lag remedy into action. A warm bath, pajamas, slippers, a cup of tea, and right to bed. But as soon as I started to relax, the telephone rang. I got out of the tub grumbling. 1. First, I couldn't find my bath towel, so I grabbed one that was way too small. 2. Next, I headed toward the living room, dripping soapy water everywhere. Meanwhile, the telephone kept ringing and ringing. Rats. It was giving me a mouse-sized headache. 3. As I raced for the phone, I slipped on a puddle and fell on my tail. Ouch! I tried to get up, but lost my balance and fell forward, right on my snout. Thump. Finally, I reached the phone and stammered, "Hello?" The rodent of my dreams. From the other end of the line, a sweet voice responded, "Hi, G, you sound funny. Am I bothering you?" It was Petunia Prettypaws, the rodent of my dreams. I should have said something clever, charming, and unforgettable. Instead, I turned purple with embarrassment. Good thing I don't have a video phone. My tongue felt like a stale brick of cheddar, and I spit out silly sentences. No. What I mean is, I am Geronimo, and you know disturb me. You would never, She interrupted me, sounding worried. Are you sure you're feeling all right? I touched the bump on my head, then I rubbed the bruise on my tail and felt my whiskers droop. I have jet lag, a bruised tail, and a terrible headache, I wailed. She was silent for a minute. "Oh, too bad," she said kindly. "I wanted to invite you." At that moment, my spirits soared. "Okay, I'll come. I'm feeling better already," I squeaked. There was no way I was going to miss spending time with Petunia. "Great, I'll be by to get you in 10 minutes," she replied. I hung up the phone and smiled. Yes, I still felt awful from the jet lag. My head was pounding, my stomach hurt, but I didn't care. I was too happy. Petunia had invited me to go out with her. My heart was beating a mile a minute, and I began to skip around the room, shouting hooray. Then, suddenly, I realized that I hadn't asked her where she wanted to invite me. Did she want to invite me to take a romantic stroll at sunset? Or did she want me to see a documentary about nature with her? Or maybe she wanted to have a candlelit dinner? I chewed my whiskers. How was I supposed to dress? A. Elegant and sophisticated. B. Sporty and casual. C. Normal like every day. With my mind racing, I began to try on all different combinations of clothes at warp speed. Soon, shirts and pants and ties and socks littered the room, but nothing looked good. Right at that moment, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. I was so excited I ran to open the door without thinking about how I was dressed. Ruffled yellow dress shirt, the usual green suit jacket, Bermuda shorts, mouse slippers. Ding dong. I opened the door with a charming smile, but in just a few seconds my face went from happy to shocked to embarrassed to crushed. Do you want to know why? It was because as soon as I opened the door, I saw that Petunia wasn't alone. She was with my sister, Thea, and Petunia's pesky niece, Bugsy Wugsy. Goodbye, romantic stroll and candlelit dinner. At that moment, Bugsy looked me up and down and shrieked, "Uncle G, why are you dressed like a clown?" Only then did I remember that I was dressed up in a ridiculous outfit. I turned purple. "Oh, haha, I was just kidding around. I'll just go changed." I mumbled, trying to laugh it off, but before I got a chance, Thea grabbed me and pulled me out of the house. "No time, Jer," she squeaked. "The early mouse gets the best bargains." Petunia added, "She's right, G. The best pieces disappear in a hurry." I tried to protest, but they pushed me into Thea's sports cart, shouting, "Hurry, we need to go." "Can I at least know where we're going?" I asked. "To the flea market," Bugsy giggled. Then the three of them screamed, "We're going shopping." At that point, my spirits took a nosedive. Flea market? Shopping? Oh, why hadn't I stayed home? If there's one thing I hate almost as much as traveling, it's shopping. But before I had time to protest, Thea's car screeched to a halt and Bugsy screamed in my ear, "Move it, Uncle G, we're here." We had arrived at the New Mouse City Flea Market. Have you ever been to a flea market? It's not a place where they sell fleas. It's a market where they sell trinkets, used clothing, old dishes, pictures, and lots of other junk. How pretty. I'd like this one. A surprise gift. As soon as we arrived, Bugsy, Thea, and Petunia immediately began to browse the stands with enthusiasm. I, on the other paw, felt like I would explode from boredom. What was so exciting about other rodents' junk? I tried closing my eyes and pretending I was back home in my cozy mouse hole, but it didn't work. As I plodded grumly through the street market, I could hear everyone chuckling about how I was dressed. What's with the slippers? How bizarre. Who is that ridiculous mouse? How humiliating. I turned purple with embarrassment. Quickly, I grabbed a hat from a rack and shoved it on my head, hoping that no one would recognize me. Unfortunately, the elderly rodent behind the stands thought I was stealing it and began whacking me with her umbrella. "Thief!" she screamed. To get her to stop, I tore the hat off my head, at which point she recognized me. "Aren't you Geronimo Stilton, the famous writer?" she shouted. "No, ma'am, I'm just a rodent who looks a lot like him," I squeaked. That made her even angrier. "How dare you make fun of me? I recognize you. You are Stilton or my name's not Mildred Pawnette, busybody," she shrieked. Then she whacked me again with her umbrella. Youch. Stars swam before my eyes. Oh, why hadn't I stayed home? Frighteningly, the old lady stopped hitting me, and I told her I was doing research for the next book and was trying to keep a low profile. Then, to be sure she would leave me alone, I began to carefully examine the merchandise at the first stand I came across. It was a stand that sold crystal gondolas. Do you know what a gondola is? It is a boat mice used to travel around the canals in the city of Venice, Italy. I picked one up and stared at it closely, turning it over and over in my paws. What a hideous piece of junk, I thought. As I mentioned, the gondola was made of crystal, with colored stones and fake diamonds on the prow. If you clapped your paws, lights blinked on and off, and a silly song began to play. "Venice is the place for you, pizza pies and skies of blue, tasty treats and starry nights, friendly mice and pretty sights." Blinking lights, fake diamonds, colored stones. When I was sure the old lady had left, I put the ugly gondola back. 3 torturous hours later, when we were ready to leave, Petunia approached me. She gave me a kiss on the whiskers and handed me a package. "This is for you, G," she said. "I wanted to apologize for dragging you out shopping." I unwrapped the package and found the hideous gondola. Petunia smiled. "I'm not sure why you like it, but I saw you staring at it, so I bought it for you," she explained. What could I say? I didn't have the courage to tell her that the glittering gondola was the ugliest thing I'd ever laid eyes on. So I just mumbled, "Thanks." "This is for you, G." Thanks." That's it for this video, but be sure to stay tuned to the next video on Kate Productions for the rest of the book. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.